Hey there, going to be doing a run review of my latest random attempt. And I got the Solguard, and I haven't played with Solguard much, so I was actually kind of intrigued by this. And I had regular Hellhorned. I'm just note here. I'm playing the footage at double speed. I just find I have less to talk about when I am not actually playing. So um, I I'm up against Seraph the Patient, and I actually don't. I've never played the Titan Channeler, so I like the idea of getting this Frostbite tanky kind of dude. I knew I was gonna want to set up on multiple floors for the final fight, so just having a champion that could live would be one less tank I have to look for. And I had some Frostbite stuff. So I did make a mistake on this fight. I could have easily gotten the collector with no pyre damage, but I decided to get one more channel in there. So that was just a mistake. Grab a Helical Crystals. It's just a good value card. And I don't want any of these. I'm looking more for some sort of mainly wanted Stygian units. I was actually looking for a Siren here, and I found one, but then I saw the Sentry, and I knew that the Sentry is going to be super useful in the last fight. I kind of regretted not looking at the Merchant of Steel first to see if Endless is available, but in the end, I decided it was still worth it. It might seem weird to have a Frost tank when that's what the champion does, but just because of how the patient works, you want to have multiple floors to attract its attention, and this way, like as you can see in this fight, it like drastically reduces the damage the champion takes while he is building up. So or she, I don't know if it's a he or she, but so that the armor is still intact for the boss. Yeah, but I mean, for this fight, it's just like he almost soloed the boss anyway. So yeah, it didn't. It was a little overkill. So I grabbed the offering there because of all the free discard stuff I have. And my goal here now is to get something worth duping 5 times. So I make the Helical Crystallis really good, but I don't get the 5 times dupe. But I do grab Heartless because I have 2 units where staying healthy is important. And there is a downside here that I didn't anticipate, which I quickly find on this fight. Which, well, let's see where it comes up. Yeah, so I set up on the middle because it's not small. And then here, yeah, so yeah, just trying to stay healthy. Not quite killing these guys, but the Frostbite will finish them off. And there we go. So I can't kill an imp anymore. I could if I had the Mollusk Mage, but there's not room for both. So I was a little frustrated by the inability to kill my imps because I have 2 of them, and I have a Mollusk Mage that wants to go there. But I think it was still worth getting Heartless. It's just a little bit of a downside I didn't anticipate. So grab some more armor there. I see the Siren as C. Normally I prefer the Siren of the Sea, especially with Tethys, but I think I actually grabbed the correct Siren in this run because of the Hellhorned having a bunch of artifacts that relate to rage and stuff like that. So I'm happy getting and Nameless Siren is more damage. So I grabbed the Endless there, so that's kind of a burden. Like the last fight, the Patient can be really challenging if you're not prepared for it. And I've had some tough runs. I've with expert challenges mainly, but where I wasn't prepared for it. Silence is a great way to deal with it, but it's no guarantee. Yeah, and I'm just torn to where to put the Welder Helper because I can't kill it. Darn it, they need to die. But in the end, I guess it's worth the armor. It just means the mollusk mage is hard to use. And I think this is the fight where I do the worst on. I just take a lot of. I had trouble getting through the tanks since I don't have multi-strike on my Siren yet, and I haven't really gotten as much discounting as I can. Grab an extra spell slot upgrade, and that's a lot of money that I'll need to spend to make value out of it. But it is kind of the main focus of my setup here. So I finally get multi-strike, which is exactly why I went over here, and I decide I don't want to have to come back. So I grab Rage, which is pretty much maybe even better than plus 10 damage. I'm not worried about sweepers because of Heartless. And yeah, so I have Endless on the Shark now, so I can set it up on the bottom and eat up all the stealth stacks. And so, as such, I'm not worried about saving the Train Steward for that either. And also, that means I get another round of Frostbite stacking, which is important for breaking through that tank here. So, unlike last fight, I'm able to kill everything, which is similar enemies that I had to deal with. I mean, part of that is multi-strike too, but having an extra round of Frostbite certainly doesn't hurt. Yeah, and with only 15 armor, still just fine here. And I get Silence. I really secretly hoping that's going to work on the final boss. I don't know. I still don't know if that works. I know it works on some bosses, but I don't know if it works on Seraph. But that kind of takes a huge part of the challenge out of the patient if you get a Silence on it. And then I grab Vapor Funnel here. It's actually really good with my setup because I give them a bunch of Frostbite right before they go up there. And so if they're still alive, one more round is going to do a bunch of damage. So yeah, armor fell here. I'm not super worried about it. I have lots of time to build up stacks. Yeah, so here, if I ended up killing them, but if I wasn't able to, and they went up into the Vapor Funnel area, they'd still die before doing damage. And I kind of regret picking that Caverns card. I'd never really play it. Yeah, so, the enemy got through but didn't do any damage. And dying, yeah. Sentry dying right before the boss is great timing. Yeah, boss almost already dead. Endless Titan Sentry is just so good. So here I grab Ice and Pyre. I don't see myself ever not sitting up on the top floor, because I don't need that extra space. And it's such a high damage spell, especially with the ability to have 3 upgrade slots. So I decided to start upgrading my spells. I do have some Ember issues. I want to be able to cast more. I consider Permafrost, but I just don't want to spend the money on it. Yeah, I'm checking my health here to see if Branding Right is consistently usable. So I decided to put Holdover on it since I do have 80 health. And make a Super Torch so that I can kill my darn imp. I didn't think about Vapor Funnel here. I probably could have taken the trial. I just would have taken a bunch of damage on my champion, which maybe is not a good idea. I still don't know what the right decision was there. but I wasn't considering that I wasn't actually going to take pyre damage. I guess I'd take like 15 or so. Yeah, ring 7 can be kind of hard, and this one is not. Just that Titan Sentry, I think, is huge. And then the boss gets silenced here, which makes the boss just trivial to deal with. And just grabbing all the frostbite stuff. And March of Shields is actually basically damage scaling because every cast I have, it's a pretty cheap spell. Every cast is more damage, so staying alive on this fight is the main challenge. I think clearing out the waves is not as hard as some of the other seraphs. It's mainly dealing with that melee weakness. So I make a free ice and pyre so that I can just kill an enemy with one hit. So that's fewer casts. I'm not 100% sure on the wave, how they're constructed, but I figure there's probably high health units that I need to deal with. So no Titan Sentry to start with, which is bummer. But these first couple waves are just not that many units. So I'm trying to avoid overcasting, but I want to get the initial shards in. So I do cast a little bit there. Yeah, and I'm just trying to get the high value spells in, not overcast. So like I could have put a March of Shields and a torch there to get more shards, but it would have helped Seraph. And then overcast when Seraph's not there. And I still get it up pretty high. It's up to 30 now. But it's, I wanted to mitigate as much damage as I could. This final wave is only at 33, so equivalent to other Seraphs, just with one hit, which isn't as good for this champ. But with how much frostbite he already has 308 frostbite. So even though my champ's only living a couple rounds, it's enough. Like he's already half dead. So this is the high offense version of how to survive Relentless, rather than the high defense version. Yeah, and pretty smooth run here, pretty fast run too. I make plenty of mistakes on it. I just, in this run through, I could see several ways I could have played it better. But it was a fun run, and I like Solguard a lot. Anyways, please consider liking the video if you enjoyed it, and see you next time.